on, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. Over on total for the daily, we do have a long upper shadow candle, so I would watch. Our stochastic is pulling back, RSI is starting to weaken, our VWAP is favoring bearish, but trying to make a bounce, and the money flow is dipping into the red. But if that VWAP can continue to push forward, we could see that money flow push up. So watch those lower time frames and see if they can gain any strength. So over in the 1 hour, we did jump up very quick, then we crashed down very quick. Now, this could be a higher low signified by the MPP as well, and this higher low could help carry us forward through that resistance area. So while this does look like we did just crash out, we do still have the chance to push forward. But that being said, our VWAP does have lower highs with lower lows. If this continues, momentum will pull back, money flow will break into the red, and we would end up rejecting. That's why the MPP has a 25% chance of getting a lower high, so keep that in mind as well. If we look at Bitcoin for the daily, we hit our target of around that 106, and we just kind of fell short. We do have the same long upper shadow candle, so again, watch for a strong red candle that would bring us lower. Our stochastic is pulling back, RSI is starting to weaken. That VWAP does want to break through that neutral, so that is positive, and the money flow is in the green. So look over to the 1 hour. If we can hold more bullish here on the 1 hour, then we could push forward. We did get that long lower shadow candle here on the 1 hour, and we are trying to get a green candle. Now, we would want a strong green candle, so if this is not followed by a really big green candle, like a about that size candle, or at least a candle this size, to overcome this previous red candle, then I would exercise caution on a rejection from this area. But if we are able to see some strong bullish momentum start to build from here, then we could still have that higher low, which would be followed by a higher high to attempt to take us toward that 107K. So that would be positive. Remember, you don't want to just blast straight up. If you stagnate up and down on your way forward, that does build a more stable path forward, and then you won't get those big swings that you typically see. Now, our VWAP is favoring bearish again with lower lows and lower highs, so watch for it to break through that neutral and hold. If it can, then we could see that higher breakout possibility. Over on graph for the daily, we did hit our resistance area. Our MPP here is still projecting that we have a high chance of hitting about 24 cents, so we could get quite the run here. Our momentum is pushing down, but starting to round up, so watch that VWAP. If that VWAP can gain strength, then that momentum will make a bounce, and we could see that money flow bounce as well, and that would help push us forward. Over on the 1 hour, if we look here, we do have a higher high, just just very slightly, so not a very significant higher high, but we also have some higher lows, so we do have some bullish momentum trying to build here, and since the highs and lows don't connect, we don't have a rising channel, at least not yet, so that does give us a bit of a path forward without any possibility of breaking down, providing this VWAP, just like Bitcoin, can break over that neutral and hold. Right now, that VWAP is in a bearish trend, though, so watch if this trend holds. If we continue to hold under the neutral, momentum will pull back, money flow will remain in the red, and we could push down. But right now, the MPP is projecting a higher chance of pushing forward from here. Over on XRP for the daily, it does look like we are indecisive here as well. Stochastic is pulling back. That RSI is starting to try to curl its way forward. Our VWAP does want to gain strength. Money flow is in the red. So overall, we do look a bit more bearish here on the daily. But again, watch for some strong green candles to form. If we can get strong green candles that overcome this big red candle, then we could see a bullish pattern kind of try to take us toward that 274. I wouldn't say too much beyond that unless we saw like a rising triangle or some sort of actual pattern form besides a bullish continuation where you get those higher highs and higher lows that do not connect. Over on the 1 hour, it does look like we are trying to make a bit of a rounding bottom here, so we do have a higher low. Watch for another higher high. Again, it does not look like these connect, so yeah, you can't really connect these highs and lows. We don't have a rising channel here unless you want to start mixing the candle wicks, and that can get a bit sloppy. Our momentum is starting to push down, though, because that VWAP is So just like Graph and Bitcoin, we need that VWAP to break over that neutral and hold if we're going to get our MPP's higher projections, which do project about 260 from here, and there is a higher chance, so about 60%. But again, there is a chance of us getting up toward about 240, rejecting, getting a lower high, and pushing down. So we do want to overcome that previous consolidation range if we're going to push forward, and that does seem to be true for most of the market right now. Now, over on Anchor for the daily, we did have this bearish pattern, so we are trying to retest and reject. So I would err on the side of caution and say we could see a drop down to 1270 if the rest of the market continues to drop from here. Our stochastic is starting to pull back, RSI is starting to push down, VWAP is favoring bearish, momentum is dropping, and the money flow is in the red. So this, if followed by a strong red candle, could signify we may get an early breakdown from this pattern. If we look here at the 1 hour, we do have some gaps to the upside still, so there is still some upside, but it would take a lot of bullish momentum to start to get there. We do have lower lows, so watch out for some lower highs. Again, that lower high would be a retest of the pattern and a rejection, and the MPP does give a high chance of that happening. So while the rest of the market looks positive, it does look a little more murky here for Anchor. Our VWAP does have lower lows and lower highs, but if it can push into bullish territory and hold with the rest of the market, then we could push forward. Right now it is pretty flat compared to the rest of our coins though, so keep that in mind. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night. Hit the like and subscribe and join us in that Discord.